Hey everybody, DayTraderRockStar here. It is Wednesday, Fed Day, FOMC meeting day. It's about 5 o'clock. Preparing for tonight's show. We're going to be doing a special option webinar for everyone out there. So if you're around tonight, 8 o'clock, daytradingradio.com. It is Wednesday, September 18th, I believe. Let's double check. Yeah, September 18th, 8 o'clock Eastern Time. It'll probably be about 2 to 3 hours. And we have a lot of great stuff here for you. So I just want to get that out. First announcement on that. All right, this is what it looks like. This is the option show tonight. Again, after hour show, 8 p.m. Eastern Time to 11 p.m. tonight. Focused on options. We'll be talking other things, trading strategies. We're going to have some special guests coming in. Option is going to be the main topic. Tight stops will be one of the guest speakers. We're going to be talking about trading spreads for income. How to use options with the HPS watch list and the HPS 40 list. Everything else here is just on there. I've sent out the notices out there. So if you get it and you want to stop by, happens tonight at 8 o'clock. Multiple ways of watching. You can go to YouTube or daytradingradio.com. Probably feed it on Facebook also. And so that's the announcement on that. Hopefully you can make that. Just a basic look at the markets today. Let's actually go back up here. And the markets, pretty interesting day because we had the Fed, you can see at 2 o'clock here, when we had the Fed FOMC rate decision cut in a quarter point as expected. Market here popped, dropped, popped, then dropped. But right down here, we started really taking notice. We actually had a great trade call in from Anthony, who saw that 5-minute divergence, as we pointed out. The Rockbot actually spotting that too, and getting long there, and then getting a great trade off of that. The market ended up closing on the highs, big reversal. But what we always talk about is, seeing that position, seeing that trade setup. This was definitely identified multiple indicators on the show. I didn't even check the tradeometer today. I mean, we have the, let me take a look, yeah, the tradeometer nailed it. So the tradeometer also came in here and nailed the bottom on that. If you're not familiar with the tradeometer, it's another indicator we have. I don't have it on the screen right here. I want to do an update on a few stocks while I have your attention. AUPH here, one of our spec drug company drug stocks here with the lupus nephritis drug, dropped today. Pretty decent drop today, and it was some news out. Roche had trials out on a drug that they also are treating the lupus, and they got good positive results, I believe, or the FDA fast-tracked the second phase. There was some positive news out on that. It didn't give much information on it. They didn't release the trials, but it definitely put some pressure on this stock. And I didn't add to it today. I'm kind of disappointed that we dropped off on that news, but it didn't really. There was no real negative news coming out of Arena Pharmaceuticals. Their news is still expected to be good, and everything. The game plan is still on here. They did a cash raise, an ATM, a couple days ago. It held up okay, but we had that follow through today. There's thoughts of maybe them bringing the price down to a level like this, and it's going to push. Maybe push back up after or beginning of next week. I think we have a little further move down. You know what? I was surprised at the move down today. I don't think we get too much further down, but just maybe a little bit further down. I don't know how much. Maybe the 580s, 570s. Stochastics rolled over here, so that's kind of a setback there. The 3M here, which is a kick-ass trade of the week, looked pretty good. It's still hanging in here. I'm calling this a flag. I'm expecting a big breakout here. Might actually happen tomorrow. Remember, the market here kind of reversed this This today here kind of just sold off, and at the end of the day kind of rallied back up, and we got back up to right next to the highs of the session. So this is actually put in a pretty decent candle on this one, and you can see we're holding above that 20 period moving average, which I do like. 60-minute time frame, kind of rolled over again and then popped, and now we're trying to break through. So I'm actually quite bullish on this 3M if we could get the move in the markets. The markets futures we'll be opening up soon. Here we have, again, a special show tonight. We'll be watching the overall market. Roku here got hit today, ROKU, and watching this pattern. There's a daily, you can see the daily pullback. There's an underlying trend line that's coming underneath it. There's a gap back here. There's a lot of interest back here in the well, we're going to talk about the X marks the spot 116 level, 116, but I'd actually move that down to the 112 level, which gives us a breakout zone. A retracement to the breakout zone pulls us into the gap. It has a rising trend line and what we call a 1-2-3 pattern, and that 1-2-3 pattern is just a combination of these two trend lines kind of just lining up perfectly where they form an X. But the 1-2-3 pattern is when you have two pivots, 1, 2, and then you have the third pivot on the bottom. You draw that parallel line, and when the price comes down to that level, it is what we call an HPS, high probability setup, and that's what we're looking at. So that 115 area does look good. That's another, that's another 15 points down. So I took a shot on just maybe getting a reactionary bounce tomorrow. Picked up some options for $1 or so, seeing if we get back above 133. But I consider it a high risk gamble because this type of pressure on it, big volume, usually has some follow through. So this is a tough call. I wouldn't throw any more money at it right now unless it got down to this level and then back down here, and we'll have to figure out the news a little bit more. So that was a little news on that one. There were some stocks here that we were holding that are performing really good. That Medtronic is something that I love, and I got a lot of people in. That's hanging in there really good. We got the waste management working for us, and that's starting to bounce. That's another 1-2-3 pattern. Nice pullback. Pinterest, PINS, newer position. A decent candle. Well, we got to hold that 28. See if we can actually get a pop again tomorrow. There's some interesting ones too. The LYV here sold off some, and then gave us a nice candle. I was looking at this as a divergence, and we had everything working great yesterday, but again today the market was selling off pre FOMC, and then we got a bounce. So we got some bounces. This doesn't look as good as it did yesterday. Does not look as good as it did yesterday. Futures will open up soon, and we'll be able to pick it up from there. If you're around tonight, keep it tuned to Day Trading Radio, especially if you get this now. Just tune in. Go to DayTradingRadio.com or go to the YouTube channel, and follow along. Get in the chat room, ask some questions. We'll be talking stocks all night long and talking options all night long. So a couple things we're going to be watching for tomorrow. Let me see if I have anything else just to mention. The EXEL, holding that. The MDT, we talked about how great that's working. 3M, I think that's going to take off tomorrow. Plan has been a nice bounce. We picked up some plan on the pullback. And what a good plan to pick up plan. Here was an X marks the spot. Another example of an HPS setup. Now, there's many HPS setups. HPS setups are stock trades that, and I want to show you something if I could do that fast for you. HPS playbook trades are trades that are defined for you. Let me see if I could. If you're a member of Day Trading Radio, you would just go to DayTradingRadio.com, like right here. Click on the login, and up at the top here of your dashboard. Let me move that over here. Top of your dashboard right here. You're taking a look. You'll see a couple different things. You'll see the playbook here. We'll see the HPS video. These are the stocks that are in active right now. The HPS watch list is active. But if you go here to the playbook, click on the playbook, you'll see all these setups here. These setups are, all broken down into video format, and they give you good examples. Each one tells you how to trade a certain setup. I have great for the option traders, for futures traders. I have all our webinars are there. We're going to have this webinar in there. Let's see if I can find the one that we're looking at right now, which is called X marks the spot, if I even have it up here. We have the lane divergence. We have all the strategies. Walk through the setups. This is one of the most important parts of the site here. Downward wedge, call it stochastic setup. Lower trend line balance. Channel breakout, stochastic rotation. Downward wedge pattern. Trading plans. Dual stochastic educational video. The 1, 2, 3 pattern. Here's the 1, 2, 3 pattern. And here's the X marks the spot pattern. So what we typically do is I do a video and we talk about how these channel lines add up, and this is what we're looking at trading. So I did some videos to kind of walk you through these trades. So if you hear me mention certain trade setups, like an X marks the spot, which plan is, comes down to a rising trend line, lowering trend line, X, and then we buy it into X, and we got a nice rotation. This actually looks great for tomorrow. Probably get to 52 on this. Very nice, very nice. So all the setups are there. All we have to do is really just wait for them. That's all we have to do. So if you, even for part-time traders, you don't have to be in front of the market. That's what the HPS watch list is for. There is to kind of update you and send you emails of when our HPS setups are hitting those trade zones. You get the instantaneous email, and then you can look at the chart, make your decision. Maybe even so. It's great for part-time traders, full-time traders. I did notice there we did have a couple trigger today. I'll give you an example. Eli Lilly triggered today, LLY. And again, if you go to the website, if you're a member, you go to the website dashboard and go up here to the HPS list. All right, and you can see these are the stocks that are setting up. We're still, all these are automated. So if we have something like Eli Lilly today triggered our buy signal, that's why it turned green. If it says watching, it hasn't triggered our entry levels yet. If it's green, that means it's an active trade. If it turns yellow or gold, that means it hit its profit. Red means it hit its stop. So today we actually have Eli Lilly. So if you click on that plus sign, chart will come up. This is all. This all has a video that goes along with it, and in the video you will see me describe this type of channel or breakout, and or buy trigger, and exactly how the trade is going to work out. So today we actually triggered that, and we're going to look for that move to push back up. And these are all attached to your alert system. Another example would be the 3M, which we're back in here today. I'm back in 3M this week, but this was a recent HPS setup. And again, you could see the, excuse my voice, you could see the buy trigger here. And what we're looking for is a move up. So if you click on the arrow, this automatically updates to real time. You can see we moved up. We actually had a great trade. Now it's pulled back, and it's pulled back right to that buy trigger again. So I started picking shares back up. This went out as the kick-ass trade of the week a few days ago, meaning that I expect this to move up. And that's it. Even though it's a kick-ass trade, I would say the target on this, I think I mentioned it in the kick-ass trade. Just go back to the last video a couple days ago, kick-ass trade video. I'll actually put the link on this video for that so you can look it up. But that's what you get. All right? So I want to get back on the air here now. It's about 5, almost 6 o'clock. Futures are about to open up. Like an Eli Lilly for tomorrow. Like the crossover. Like the alert. We got that HPS alert happening for you. And I'm going to start. We'll start the show right now. So enjoy it. See you tonight. Don't forget, option show tonight, 8 o'clock, Day Trader Radio and all the streaming broadcast areas. I'm Day Trader Rockstar. I'll see you in the markets.